Hi Virgo, welcome to your mid-May general tarot card reading. My name is Jane. Thanks so much for being here. Quickly, just check the description box down below. I give you the other links to your other videos if you're interested in watching your ascending moon or also Venus signs as well. And where to find me on Instagram in case you're interested in free dailies, which is where I do free dailies on Instagram at Jane International. So I'd love to have you join us there. And free readings are on hold. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I'm just really trying to rebuild my website. Actually, I hired someone to help me do it and become a little bit more streamlined and just overall more professional. It's definitely, try not to keep it in like just some girl doing it in her living room type of realm, which is kind of what's happening, but you know what I mean. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in, Virgo, and look at your mid-May energies. All right, this is general, so it should touch on multiple areas of life. I keep it very open and broad. Okay. I wanted to pull out just a couple because just to get us kind of started and kind of get our bearings a little bit. Four of Coins in the reversal is, I'm really sensing, it can, for me it can go one of both ways. One, we're extra clinging and we're extra hanging on tight to something, or we're letting something go. In your sense, I'm getting a vibe that you're maybe clinging a little bit tightly, or not really opening up, okay? Now, this can be in the realm of finance as well. Maybe you're being extra careful with money. Maybe you're being extra careful on the things that you're investing in or you're spending money on. It can be in terms of energy, conserving your energy. Maybe you're in a little bit of a hermit mode, which hermit is your card, so maybe you've got a little bit of that going on. And I kind of feel like you're really holding back because you don't understand something, or something isn't clear and it doesn't really quite make sense. And it's kind of getting in your way a little bit. You might be like, I'm getting the words on hold, like you've put things on hold, progress in, you know, projects even at work, like maybe things around you, things aren't really coming together and you're like, now's really not the right time to launch anything new or to do anything experimental, right? Let's be cautious, let's do what we know what works, let's stick to our core values and our core understandings, and let's just keep it this way until we have more information, right? Until further notice. Because it seems to me like you're coming from a place, we have the Seven of Swords reverse and we have the Page of Swords reverse. So it seems like you're coming from a place of lack of clarity and understanding, or maybe some of you got screwed over in the past. There was, you know, some lies or some deceitful behavior. There were some things that, you know, people were trying to maybe get away with stuff. And now you're like, okay, someone tried to sneak this into the contract. Someone tried to sneak this behind my back. Someone tried to take money behind my back. Someone stole from me. Or, you know, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a dramatic vibe here. Like really someone was trying to, maybe it was inadvertently because it is in the reversal, so maybe it's not so malicious. But at the same time, it could have been hurtful or harmful nonetheless. And it seems to me like you want to avoid this behavior again in the future. Putting you in this like, okay. I'm getting a lot of the word lying is coming to my mind, because the Page of Swords in reverse I often see as someone lying or someone doing something, you know, keeping something secretive. And not telling the truth or omitting truth of some kind. Do you guys like my crystal? I just bought it up in Ubud, which is a city here. It's like one of those spiritual hippie vibe cities, kind of like Santa Fe, New Mexico or something. I don't know, I thought it was pretty. It spoke to me and I've kind of gravitated towards it, so I bought it. I'm not really into crystals so much, but I liked it, so hopefully you guys like it. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of secrets, like, but this is you, right? I think this was someone else. It could have been you, but I'm really sensing it was someone else, and you're really trying to avoid that behavior in the future, right? Like, someone may have hurt you. Maybe you don't even know for sure. Like, maybe you don't even know for a fact that this even happened, and you might be just kind of assuming based on your intuition. I think you're right, you know, like your intuition is speaking to you right now. So if you're getting a vibe that someone was doing something sneaky, then my guess is that that's the case and that that's true. Causing you to retreat a little bit and take like extra caution and extra effort in terms of your own control. So now you're not wanting to be vulnerable. Now you're not wanting to expose yourself. And you have this outward projected self that either this person, if this was in fact a person, it could be a situation or even a group of people that did something. So if there's like, you're projecting it out to them as being fully in control, unfazed, no problem. But on the inside, it's like a whole starry sky of stuff. There's this one quote by John Green. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's, "My thoughts are stars I cannot fathom into constellations." And I often see that because he's got the stars in the canopy. So it's like our stars, our thoughts are the stars, and there's so many, you know, beautiful things to think and also bad things to think. And, but you are keeping all those thoughts to yourself, because you don't want to seem over emotional. You don't want to seem overly affected, because your vulnerability in this particular situation, I think, would project an image of weakness, which is something that you don't want. You want to be in a position of strength. Okay. Temperance. It's about individuality in this sense, I think. It's really about you, okay? And I know that you want calm and tranquility. Virgo tends to be a less confrontational sign, and when there is conflict in our lives, we tend to do whatever we can do to make sure that conflict is resolved as quickly as possible. And our ability to do that is by our ability, and I say our, I'm a Virgo for those of you who don't know, so sometimes I lump myself in, but you know, you do have an ability to be stern on the outside, and Virgos have the lovely honor of being dubbed the stereotypical Virgos, the Ice Queen. And I'm kind of sensing a little bit of the Ice Queen or Ice King for those men out there vibes from you, you know, like really cold, really uninviting, probably not the most friendly person right now, but I think you're really just protecting yourself, and you're really kind of in a mode of really looking out for yourself and doing what you got to do. I'm not saying you're completely ignoring your loved ones, all right, especially if you guys do have a family. I'm not saying they're going by the wayside and being left forgotten, but at the same time, especially in the career realm or in your social circle, if you've kind of been a victim of gossip or rumors or something like that, especially in your social circle, I think you're actually making a very good choice. And that's all you can really do. Really look out for you. But you don't need to wait for information. You don't need to wait for confirmation that something was in fact true, or that something did in fact happen. You don't need to wait for confirmation of that, because your intuition is saying that it's true. So just operate as though it's true, because it's better to be safe than sorry, I think. I'm not necessarily seeing you on damage control, right? I don't think that it was particularly detrimental to your life or to kind of what's going on, but I do sense a need or a desire to portray some type of a strong, powerful image to people. And I'm just realizing that this particular camera is not center. Sorry, guys. Now it's crooked, but it is what it is. Okay. Nine of Cups in the reversal speaks to, in my mind, humility. And one thing that, again, I'm stereotyping, guys, okay? I'm They're the typical claims that people make about signs, and sometimes I use them more to illustrate a point or for visualization purposes, so don't take personal offense. But you know, Virgos tend to be one of the last people to ever admit that they were wrong about something. Okay, so it's time for you to maybe bite the bullet, and if you did in fact do something wrong, or you did in fact do something that people are claiming that you did, and if you did in fact do that, it's time to really own up to it. Okay, at least within yourself. You don't maybe have to admit it to other people, but if you are displaying certain behavior or doing certain things, it's time to just say, yeah, I'm doing it, in your own mind, for your own sanity, because that's part of the stars and the constellation and all the thoughts up there. That's everything that's going on in here. Admitting and knowing truth is one of them as well. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you're like doing anything super bad, and I'm not saying you're the bad guy in this by any stretch of the imagination, because I do think that there was some lies and some sneaky behavior with someone around you or some particular situation around you. So you may have been in, you know, defensive mode, and that's okay. But if you did in fact do something that was wrong, then, you know, to admit that at least to yourself, I think will give you some peace, which is, I think, where your mind is at. This is all an effort to have peace in your life and to give yourself some tranquility and serenity for once. Again, another sword in the reversal. What was it that happened? Some lack of truth, lack of understanding. There's 3 cards here actually that speak very specifically to words going unsaid, information not being had, you know, untruths, omission of truths, all sorts of things. Please leave your stories in the comments below. I've been saying this in all my videos because I do read the comments. I'll be sitting in a cafe and I'll get email notifications of them. Like, I love hearing your stories. I don't respond. I'm terrible with responding email as well. Like, I'm bad at it, and here I am admitting it. Okay, I'm bad at it, but I do read them. So I love hearing kind of where you guys are coming from. So there seems to be someone here, a Knight of Wands, a fire energy. This is the card of Sagittarius, but it could be any fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, or anyone with a very mobile spirit. Mobile. They love to move. They love to go. They love to travel. They love to do things. Virgos tend to be very attracted to these types of people. They're very ambitious. They're very strong. They're very well articulated. They're very good at social things. But Virgo, in your instance, I think this person is a little superficial, non-committal, and they cannot be trusted to fulfill what they say they're going to do. Okay, if you are looking to hire someone and someone comes in and whips you into a verbal frenzy and they have like all, you know, a million things to say and they've got good attitude and they're positive and optimistic and all this good stuff, be really careful about hiring that type of person. If you're meeting new friends in social circles and this is maybe a business connection or whatever, be very cognizant of that type of person in your life right now. They may be the same person. If it's not someone new, they may be the person from the past, someone that is in fact lying or not telling you the truth or not filling you in on the whole story. This could be the reason why you are on guard and why you are putting up such a front, okay? In your hopes and fears, I think you're really, really, really hoping for understanding, and you're really hoping for the fog to really dissipate and to have clarity in this situation, and to really, like, you know, stop guessing, because I think you've been playing a guessing game for a while, and I think you really, really want to just put down the cards and just talk. But talking is not really a possibility. There's likely very superficial conversation happening. There's likely very unfulfilling situations, right? Like, if you're meeting this person, if you're sitting down with them at conference or whatever, and you're really trying to make things happen, it's like all talk. All talk and no game. What's the phrase? All bark and no bite. Is that what it is? I don't know if that's a thing. I know there's something with barking and biting. Sun coming out in the reversal. There just seems to be a little bit of dankness, you know, a little bit of pessimism there. Not bad, not terrible, but you're just really skeptical, right? Maybe you've been screwed over one too many times and you're like, you know, having a really hard time trusting people this month, you know, but it's founded, right? It's not like, and maybe your thing that you need to admit is that you allowed it to happen. Maybe that's what you need to admit. You allow it to happen, or you allow it to keep happening. Maybe this is someone that you keep having faith or trust in. Like if you're an employer, likely this person has been on your mind and you need to fire them, okay? Or you need to quit them as a friend. Or, you know, like you need to fire a client or something like that, right? Because someone is definitely not carrying their weight or holding up their end of the bargain. Fundamental change. Okay, we've got some really interesting major arcana going on here. Fundamental change, deep-rooted commitment to excellence in your own life. Excellence and happiness and goodness in your own life. Like this is a situation that's probably... like I was saying, this could be someone new, but likely it's more someone that's been buzzing around you for a while, but they're probably in and out of your life, right? They're probably not, it's like they come in and they create a disturbance and then they kind of go away. And then they come in, you know, if it's an employee, it's like they'll be great for a few days or a couple weeks, and then it's going to be like, oh, drama central, right? This is someone that creates waves. It's very inconsistent, very unpredictable. See how peaceful your mind is. I really think your mind is in a very existential place, right? And we just had the North Node moving out of your sign from Virgo to Leo in a very, very high level basic sense. And you can read up on this if you want. North Node in Virgo really projects a lot of expectations and having a lot of idealism and a lot of perfectionism and a lot of, you know, expecting others to do things. And when it moves into Leo, it really kind of relaxes and you start to look within, right? Hermit, you start to look within and say, what do I need to do in my life to really reestablish a commitment to happiness, okay? And it's likely that there is someone, now this is, I'm getting fire, so this is also a Leo. This is the card of Aries, but could also be Leo Sagittarius. So we're getting definitely a fire quality that in some way does not live up to your expectations or that continues to disappoint you in some way, okay? And like they have a difficult time pulling the trigger and making stuff happen, okay? And you're kind of in this place of trying to figure out what to do. How do I handle this? I don't know why this just popped into my head. I'm not seeing children qualities here, but if you're dealing with a child that's having some, like, they're lost in life, now would be a really good time for you to have some kind of a little bit of a heart-to-heart conversation with them. This is a card of like things getting really serious and the fun and games are over. And if you are in any way financially supporting someone and they seem to be kind of taking advantage of it or taking advantage of you and your goodness and your kindness, because let's face it, when a Virgo gives, period, like when a Virgo gives, period, it means so much because we don't just give. You don't just open your heart. You don't just want the best for just everybody. You know what I mean? It means something. And when that gets thrown back in your face, you take it away. I mean, that's kind of the MO, right? There's generosity to the nth degree as long as it's appreciated. But the minute it goes unappreciated, freaking pulling that rug out from under you, like, no, okay, no more. Well, you don't get my rug to stand on anymore, you know? And I think some of you are kind of getting to that point where you really have had enough. Like, the fun is over, the games are over. It's time to be held accountable. It's time to be held responsible. It's time for fundamental change. There needs to be some form of change here. And I think you're really needing to come to peace with that, because you are going through your own commitment to love, your own commitment to finding happiness, and this person is not in line, or this situation or whatever this person is doing is not in line with your path to happiness. It seems to me like they're not reciprocating, and this can also be you, Virgo, really withholding stuff, not bridging the gap, because it seems to me like there's a gap with the two of you now. There's officially some kind of a crevice or some kind of a wedge placed between you. You've created distance, all right? You've kind of taken control. Like I said, you're really projecting this outward exterior of being unfazed, but on the inside, you're likely like, wow, freaking out. You have this whole private world of stuff that's going on. Therefore, kind of putting the giving and the offers on hold. You're extracting your original offer, right? It's no longer on the table. Because I think you're tired of waiting for them to fix or to come around. You're tired of waiting for this person to get on board, you know? They're not hitching their ride to your wagon, and they don't want you to hitch your ride to their wagon, you know? And the opportunities, they're not coming, right? The opportunities for change, they're wearing thin. Again, the lack of communication isn't helping. This person isn't really interested in change. This person isn't interested in, you know, being what you want them to be. That's not what they're in it for. They're just doing their own thing. Another fire sign, all reversed. Wow. That's amazing, right? You're afraid of what they do to you. This is you, Virgo, 100%. All of the people here, everyone's depleted. Everyone has been like affected by something. Like, what was it that happened here? You know, this may or may not be related to this person, and maybe you are coming out from someone, but this person is kind of getting the brunt of it. Like, you're kind of taking out your stress and your problems on this person because they do something to piss you off or to make you angry. And you know, or maybe it is, maybe they are connected and it is the same. I do feel like it's the same person though. I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm not saying you're giving them a lot of second chances, but I think that they're in your life. They're around, right? So if this is an employee that you need to fire or a client that you need to fire, it's like, I think you're going to continue to give them the cold shoulder. He's even still here looking at you. You're afraid of giving now. You're afraid of being the one, like I say, that bridges that gap. But they're looking at you. Even this one. Look, they're both headed in your direction here. But you're looking away in both directions. Virgo, Virgo. Wink. Okay? You're strong. You're putting up a very strong exterior here. And I feel like they're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Where'd you go? What are you doing? You know, like nothing happened. And that's the thing, is that they are in and out of your life when it suits them. They are in and out. They do what they need to do, and then they come back to you when they need something. And you're not about to give them what they need because you've done it too many times. It's a cyclical pattern. It's something that you are fundamentally trying to change within yourself. Fundamentally, you're not accepting and you are no longer happy with what this situation is giving you, right? I'm out on time. Oh, I'm talking a lot. Hope you guys don't mind my long videos, Virgo. The Devil. Look at how many intense, these are intense, right? Judgment reversed, Sun reversed, the Devil, Death, Hermit, Chariot. I mean, these are, like, you guys are really feeling something. And what is this entanglement that you have with this person? There's certainly something keeping you here. Obviously, if it's a family member, obviously they're in your life, right? Obviously, that's a commitment that you can't necessarily just walk away from. If it's an employee, why do you keep giving them a chance? If it's a client, you know, how much money do they have that they're giving you, you know? If it's a friend, how much do you really love them? Like, how far back does it go? How far back does your connection go that you're willing to put up with this? Because it's something that you have to put up with. You have to deal with it. You have to, like, put thought into it, you know? And it's something that right now you don't really have the energetic resources for that because you're in hermit mode. Hermit mode does not have time for other people's BS. That's not what hermit mode is about. But I feel like they keep talking to you, right? But so selfishly, and it's kind of like you're asking yourself, what do they want from me this time? What do they want from me this time? What do they get out of this? Like, I know what I get out of it, which is screwed over, right? Screwed over. But what did they get out of it? Validation, ego stroking, security. You seem to be a more stable presence in their life. You are the stable presence in their life. You provide stability. And some of you may be providing money. There may be financial exchange or financial support with this person. And you're, like I said, you're pulling the rug out, like, no more. You're cutting it off. Or you're trying, you want to. You might not be doing it, but I know you want to. But it's becoming a burden. It's becoming an obligation, right? And I think you're keeping it going because there's like a higher good, or there's like a hope that it's something good. But you are chasing rainbows. The Devil is, you know, he's deceitful. He's a liar. It does speak to commitment. And I know you have a commitment with this person. I don't know what the commitment or the arrangement is, but I know there's something entangling the two of you. There's a reason why you can't walk away. It doesn't have to be love, right? Like, maybe you've invested in this person. Maybe there are legal entanglements as well. Like, there's a contract in place. You might be at the point of doing the bare minimum of your contract. You're totally not gonna do extra or above and beyond because this person may be too demanding and too, like, needy. The past is in the past. Did I get that with you before? I feel like I got that with you before. Maybe it was another sign, I don't remember. But the past is in the past, right? The only thing you can do is really move forward. See, you're not letting go though. Like, you know you need to, you know you want to, but you're not letting go. So what is the investment here? And is the investment really worth sacrificing your ability to evolve and your ability to finish this cycle and to evolve? Because I think in the near future, this is going to keep kind of going. It's not going to change, right? This is kind of a reading of things not changing, which is frustrating. But hopefully this reading will be insightful or enlighten you or help you to think about really why. And what are you getting out of it that you're continuing to participate? Because you seem to be the lifeblood of this. You seem to be the driving force of this, and they just kind of are doing what they do all the time. Again, another page. Every person in this reading is coming out reversed. no communication or very superficial conversation, and you not expressing what you want from them. Again, the private world, like I said, like I think they have no idea, because you're putting up this front, you're putting up this whole facade thing here, and you are entertaining their little dreamland. Okay, because there are, you know, there is a little bit of a dream state in the foundational period here. The dream state, the idealism, the hope, the healing, you know, and I think that you are getting to a point where you're past the pain, or you're working your way through the pain at least. And working your way through the pain is affording you to move on, but you're still being kind of pulled back or reeled back in. See, I don't like the caring. I don't like that you care, because I think that this person doesn't care so much. I'm not saying they don't care about you, or I'm not saying they don't care about your success, or, you know, but it's like I'm seeing obliviousness, like they're totally oblivious to what they're doing to you or the effect they have on you, because they're so self-focused, selfish, and like, this is my life, this is my world, and that's all it is. And I didn't really think that you had your own life. I didn't really think that you have your own stuff going on. I didn't think that you're, you know, they're not thinking that way. That's one thing about the, I mean, fire qualities can be really caring and really loyal and really beautiful in all aspects of life, okay? Even in business, like they like the people aspect of business even. So it's not that they don't think that you're a person, but they're so focused on what they have going on and what you do to help them, that they don't think about what really it takes for you to help them. And for Virgo, that's not acceptable at all, right? Healing does seem to be having a hard time taking place, because I think you're still waiting. And I'm wondering if there's some decision, like I was saying in the beginning, like there's some decision that's going on hold, or it's like to be determined based on their behavior. It's like, okay, well, let's see what this person does, and then I'll be able to really figure out whether I'm doing this or whether we need to do that, right? So let's see what they need to do. But by doing that, you are putting yourself on the back burner. You're putting yourself in the back seat, and that's not necessarily where you want to be. But they have no idea, because you're hiding it from them. So you can't expect them to know. You can't expect them until you communicate, and there's no communication happening. You have a soft heart for this person, okay? You have a soft spot. I don't know what it is. It's like there may be a chemistry thing. This is not a love reading, okay? If you're interested in love, please watch the love specific reading. So again, I don't know what the obligation is here, but they definitely provide you some, it's like you are a helping sign. You are a service-oriented sign. You are the service-oriented sign. I think we're associated with the 6th house, which is service, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an astrologer. I'm terrible with astrology. But, so you're more than happy to give. But they might be biting the hand that feeds a little bit. And I think there's something about them that you want to help. You want to be there for them. You know what I got in my mind just now? I'm sensing volunteers, like you are the volunteer, and there's someone, like if you volunteer at like a women's shelter or homeless shelter or something like that, and there's someone who is either, you know, a victim or a homeless person or something, and they seem to be kind of taking advantage of your kindness a little bit. I don't know why. That's the type of scenario that I'm kind of getting in my mind as an image. I don't know why. Maybe that's just like one of you. I don't know. Your intuition, you're highly intuitive right now. You have a lot going on. Again, nothing is really being unsaid. I think you're afraid of this information coming out. I think you're afraid of this person seeing how much you care, or you're afraid of this person knowing, you know, what you've, like everything you've done. It's almost as though you're purposely not showing them everything you've done because you don't want to be like, I don't know, you don't want them to feel bad for you or something. I don't know, you want them to think that you are strong. You want them to think that you are in their corner. Like, I think you're afraid that they will think that you're not in their corner. You're very afraid of what they think. You're very concerned about what they think. And simultaneously wanting to be like, forget you, this investment is totally not worth it. And you're at this place of decision, right? That's what the sevens are beautiful for. It's a point, it's a pivot point. And you're weighing options and you're like, okay, this is my investment. Have I gotten a return on my investment? Some of you, I really think some of you are going to keep it going, because it's like you almost need a last straw. And I don't think you've reached the last straw yet, but your patience is wearing really thin. And you're starting to take the first steps of withdrawing, right? Withdrawing your care, withdrawing your attention, withdrawing your genuine spirit and your genuine service-oriented heart, okay? You're starting to like be protective and putting on that ice queen front. You're putting on that cold front. And I think they're picking it up, and I think they're sensing it. But it really comes down to deciding. Some of you will, it's weird, there must be something going in the sky, because I had a very similar reading with Libra. So you may have, some of you, like maybe it's a 50-50 split. I actually would think it's more like 70-30, where 70% will kind of keep it going in good faith, and 30% will be like, no, I'm totally done. The past is in the past. I need to accept this revolution and embrace the future. I almost need to earn this rite of passage in order to invite the new chapter into my life. But some of you are afraid to walk through this wheel. Some of you are afraid to close this chapter because of whatever entanglements that you have with this person. Your heart is hurting, and I don't think that you've reached a point where you quite are ready to accept the healing process. You're getting there, and you are going, and these are two foundational cards of healing and transformation, which is good, but at the same time, it still really hurts, and it's still really hard, okay? So for those of you, if you really don't want this person in your life anymore, then you have to take the steps to cut them out. Like, cut them out. Cut the ties for good, okay? So I'm going to leave you with that, Virgo. I wish you nothing but the best, all right? Thanks so much. I'll see you in a couple weeks with your love reading. Thanks so much.